Achilles, the son of the mortal Peleus and the sea nymph Thetis, was born under extraordinary circumstances. Thetis, having received a prophecy that her son would surpass his father in greatness, went to great lengths to ensure his protection. She held him by the heel and dipped him into the river Styx, making him invulnerable everywhere but his heel. Achilles' upbringing. Achilles was raised in the court of King Lycomedes, hidden away by his mother who wished to keep him safe from the prophecy that he would die a glorious death in battle. Under the guise of a girl named Pyrrha, Achilles learned the arts of war and peace, becoming a formidable warrior and a respected leader. The prophecy. However, destiny has a way of catching up. The seer Calchas prophesied that the city of Troy could not fall without the aid of Achilles. Despite Thetis' efforts to keep this a secret, the clever Odysseus discovered Achilles' true identity and convinced him to join the Greek forces in the Trojan War. Achilles' journey to Troy. Achilles' journey to Troy was not just a physical voyage across the Aegean Sea, but also a journey of self-discovery and destiny. Despite his mother's efforts to keep him away from the battlefield, Achilles was drawn to Troy by a sense of duty and honor. He was a natural leader, commanding the Myrmidons, a group of fierce warriors known for their discipline and loyalty. His ship was among the 1,000 that set sail for Troy, a testament to the scale of the war that was to come. Achilles in the Trojan War. Once in Troy, Achilles' prowess as a warrior was unrivaled. He was a force of nature on the battlefield, his name becoming synonymous with courage and strength. His exploits were many, from defeating the Trojan ally Cycnus, to leading the Greeks to victory in numerous battles. However, the war was not just about physical battles. It was also a test of character and principles. When Agamemnon, the leader of the Greek forces, took Briseis, a woman awarded to Achilles as a war prize, it sparked a feud that led to Achilles' withdrawal from the battle. This event marked a turning point in the war, showing that even the greatest of heroes were not immune to personal conflicts and pride. Achilles' most notable feat was his duel with Hector, the noble prince of Troy. Driven by a thirst for revenge over the death of his close friend Patroclus, Achilles faced Hector outside the walls of Troy. Their duel was fierce and intense, but Achilles, fueled by rage and grief, emerged victorious. Yet, Achilles' anger did not subside with Hector's death. In his grief, he dishonoured Hector's body, an act that was frowned upon by the gods and men alike. It was only after King Priam, Hector's father, bravely visited the Greek camp and pleaded for his son's body that Achilles relented, showing a moment of compassion amidst the brutality of war. The duel between Achilles and Hector is one of the most famous episodes in the Trojan War, a pivotal moment that showcases the valor and tragedy of war. Hector, the noble prince of Troy, was not just an adversary to Achilles, he was his equal on the battlefield, a mirror that reflected Achilles' own courage and skill. Their duel was not just a clash of swords, but a clash of ideals and destinies. Hector, despite knowing the prophecy that he would fall to Achilles, chose to face him. He was driven by duty and honor, a stark contrast to Achilles, who was fueled by revenge for the death of his close friend Patroclus at Hector's hands. The battle was fierce and intense. Achilles, in his divine armor forged by Hephaestus, and Hector, in the stolen armor of Achilles' fallen comrade Patroclus, fought relentlessly. The gods themselves watched, their favor shifting between the two warriors. In the end, Achilles emerged victorious. With a swift and deadly thrust of his spear, he struck Hector, sealing his fate. Yet, even in his final moments, Hector showed great courage and dignity, foretelling the fall of Achilles to the hands of Paris. However, Achilles' anger did not subside with Hector's death. In his grief and rage, he dishonoured Hector's body, dragging it behind his chariot around the walls of Troy. This act of desecration was a stark contrast to the code of honor and respect usually observed by warriors, showing the depth of Achilles' grief and anger. Achilles later showed a glimpse of compassion and respect for his fallen adversary, returning Hector's body to his father for proper burial. The Wrath of Achilles. The wrath of Achilles is a central theme in the Iliad, the ancient Greek epic by Homer. It's not just about his anger, but also about the devastating consequences that his rage brought upon the Greeks and Trojans alike. Achilles' wrath was first kindled when Agamemnon, the leader of the Greek forces, took Briseis, a woman awarded to Achilles as a war prize. This act of disrespect towards Achilles led him to withdraw from the battle, a decision that had dire consequences for the Greeks. However, The full extent of Achilles' wrath was unleashed following the death of his close friend Patroclus. Patroclus was killed by Hector, the prince of Troy, while wearing Achilles' own armor. This loss was a devastating blow to Achilles, fueling his rage and desire for revenge. In his wrath, Achilles returned to the battlefield with a single-minded focus, to avenge Patroclus' death. The death of Achilles. The death of Achilles is as epic and tragic as his life. Despite his near invincibility, Achilles was not immune to fate. His death was foretold by prophecy, and it came at the hands of Paris, the prince of Troy. Paris, though not as renowned a warrior as his brother Hector, played a crucial role in the Trojan War. Guided by the god Apollo, Paris shot an arrow that struck Achilles in his only vulnerable spot, his heel. This was the same heel by which his mother, Thetis, held him when she dipped him into the river Styx to make him invulnerable. It's from this story that we get the term, Achilles' heel, referring to a person's only weakness. Achilles' death marked a turning point in the Trojan War. With their greatest warrior gone, the morale of the Greek forces was severely affected. However, Achilles' legacy lived on. His armor was given to his closest comrade, Odysseus, after a contest between him and Telamonian Ajax, who later took his own life out of grief and humiliation. Achilles' body was retrieved by his comrades and given a hero's funeral. His ashes were placed in a golden urn, along with those of his dear friend Patroclus, symbolizing their inseparable bond in life and death. The death of Achilles is a poignant reminder of the human condition, that no matter how strong or invincible we may seem, we all have our vulnerabilities. It's a testament to the fleeting nature of life and the inevitability of death, even for the greatest of heroes. Achilles' story, from his glorious exploits to his tragic end, continues to captivate us. It's a timeless tale that explores the depths of human courage, the complexities of heroism, and the harsh realities of mortality. It reminds us that while our time on Earth may be temporary, our legacy can endure, much like the legend of Achilles.